Hello, welcome to 8.9 News. I'm ffinlo Costain. Researchers at Wageningen University Research have found that recoupling livestock and feed production in the Netherlands would substantially reduce ammonia and greenhouse gas emissions, nearly meeting the national climate goals for 2030. Professor Imke de Boer was a supervisor on the research, and due to connection problems, she's stepped in on behalf of lead author Ben van Selm. In the paper, they say that recoupling livestock and feed production would create a natural ceiling for livestock numbers. I asked Imke de Boer to explain how livestock and feed production are currently uncoupled.
Basically, in the Netherlands, we import quite a lot of feed from other areas outside the Netherlands. And in that way, we import nutrients into the Netherlands. And the majority of these nutrients are actually excreted in the manure. And the manure stays in the Netherlands, so it's not going back to the feed production. So in that way, the circle is broken, and feed production and consumption is uncoupled.
Now, this research is globally significant, isn't it? Because, of course, it's not just the Netherlands that imports animal feed, but other countries, for example, Great Britain.
Exactly. Yeah, there are a lot of other areas in the world where we have a high density of livestock. And in those areas, you generally see that they can't produce all the feed that the livestock needs, so that they import the feed, and that results then in nutrient accumulation.
So when we're thinking about nutrient circularity, what are the key nutrients that you're actually concerned about?
Basically, that's nitrogen and phosphorus, because they cause local environmental issues due to the local nutrient accumulation.
And what are the chief environmental concerns in terms of those nutrients?
Yeah, so if you have nitrogen accumulation, that results in ammonia emission, and ammonia emission results in acidification of the soil, in eutrophication of water areas, but also in loss of biodiversity in nature areas we have in the Netherlands due to deposition of nitrogen.
So what are the main benefits of recoupling livestock and feed production?
It's actually a natural ceiling of the amount of livestock that you can keep, because if you recouple livestock and feed production, then you actually can maintain that amount of livestock that is related to the amount of feed you can produce. So all the manure that the livestock produce can be brought back to the land. So you have a natural ceiling in the number of livestock you can logically keep within a certain area.
And this is essentially an issue primarily within more industrialized farming systems, isn't it? If you're looking at agroecological or regenerative systems, then that coupling or that uncoupling hasn't occurred, and they are still producing the amount of livestock and product that the land is able to support. Is that right?
Well, if you, for example, look at organic production, then organic pig production in the Netherlands is also buying feed from outside the Netherlands. So it's not automatically true that this is coupled. But in organic ruminant farming, for example, there is indeed a percentage of grass that needs to be part of the feed, and that's generally coming from the own farm. But I think it's a logical ecological principle that you have to bring back the manure to the land, and that would solve a lot of environmental issues if you would do that.
And Imke, how would an application of that natural ceiling that's been proposed change production levels in the Netherlands?
Yeah, so we looked at how many livestock could we keep. And if we would indeed base that on the amount of feed that we could produce, and our result was that we need to reduce the dairy herd with about 30%, which is also partly related to the import of calves, and the amount of pigs and poultry at 60%, because there's a relatively large share of the feed import going to monogastrics.
That was Imke de Boer from Wageningen University Research. More about this and our other headline news on our website, 8.9.com. That's all for now. We're back soon. Thanks for watching.